Welcome back, everyone. It's always great to hear from our fantastic students.
Here at UA92, our courses are industry-led and we work with an extensive network of industry-leading companies who do so much to shape the UA92 experience. For example, like co-design our degree courses, give guest lectures and provide insight days. But it's not just our partners that help. We do also have extensive industry expertise within UA92.
That's right. We're now going to hear from our Director of External Affairs, Claire Riding, and two of our fantastic partners, so Justin Walton from Microsoft, as well as Sam Davies from TalkTalk. And we've also got a renowned broadcaster, Phil Jones, who also works as a UA92 tutor on our journalism course, as well as our second-year journalism student, Bobby. Over to you, Claire.
Thanks, Andrew. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm absolutely delighted to be joined today by our fantastic panel of Sam, Justin, Phil and Bobby. So if you guys can all turn your cameras and mics on and say hello, that would be great.
Hi, Claire. Good to see you.
Hi. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. It's brilliant to see you all. So I'm going to kick off with a few questions. I'll start with you, Justin, if that's okay. So you're from Microsoft, obviously, one of our wonderful partners. What are the main areas of your partnership with UA92 and how does your partnership with us align to your business goals?
So I think first things first, in terms of kind of real partnership, we're actually in the building. We're in the campus building that Regan spoke about. So we have the opportunity when we're able to share that wonderful kind of environment. So I think Microsoft buying in for a period of years for sure as a minimum to be part of this kind of UA92 experience is fairly significant. I think in terms of the things that gives us, it gives us a real opportunity as an external kind of global organization to meet with and rub shoulders with the academics, with the teaching staff, with the students, importantly. And rather than just sitting on the Microsoft side of the fence, actually communicate with the people who are consuming the software and the experiences that Microsoft can offer. So I think that's really important. And we recognize that we can learn a lot from you through doing that as well. Massively important is kind of digital skills, digital literacy. It's been talked about. It's not going away. It's becoming more prevalent and important in every job that people do, whether that's kind of nursing all the way to sort of high tech and coding. As I think Lukman was talking about, it's in every industry, whether you can see it or you can't. And Microsoft owns an organization called LinkedIn Learning, which, you know, the insights that come from LinkedIn Learning will tell you that we just don't have the digital skills and digital literacy in the graduates today to meet the growing demands of the businesses out there. So the fact that UA92 placed that front and center of the experience that they give alongside the degree is absolutely critical. So we're delighted to be able to support that.
Thanks, Justin. And I think that is a really key point, isn't it? You know, digital skills are so important and it's obviously not just for our computer science students. We make sure that it's a part of every single degree that we offer at UA92. So thanks for that. Sam, if I can come over to you and ask you how you support students during the course of their time at UA92.
Yeah, absolutely. So within TalkTalk, we're obviously another partner of UA92. For many reasons, we're just based around the corner, which is obviously handy. And we have a lot of kind of cultural similarities within how UA92 run and how TalkTalk run as an employer. So some of the ways that, you know, we support students is we are part of the 92 Champions club, I suppose, which is where we sponsor some students through their degree. But we also wanted to have a much more hands-on approach in our way of supporting them on studies. So, for example, we hold things like industry insight sessions where a group of students pre-COVID would come over to our head office building and see what it's really like to work there in an office environment. We try and link students up with people around the business that we feel would be a really good support for them as a mentor perspective. We've delivered guest lectures, like one of the students mentioned before. We've took part in some of the CPD, the behaviours and skills to bring them to life. So many different ways and many more over the next few years we plan to as well.
Brilliant, thank you, Sam. Justin, can I ask you the same question? Just, I guess, following on from the first question I asked you, how, in practical terms, how do you support our students when they're studying with us?
Yeah, I mean, Microsoft is in everybody's kind of life, like it or not, and most people do, in fairness. But I think, firstly, in terms of technology, having kind of designed and built what you wanted the UA92 experience to be and the component parts, clearly the digital nature was a big part of that. So we worked closely with the Academy to kind of help you build the right environment, an environment that some could only wish to be able to build, if that makes sense, because they're looking at sort of decades of legacy ways of working, and the scale is different. So we certainly support in terms of the technology, making sure that the students and the staff are able to benefit from the actual technology from Teams and the various ways that Teams can be used. I think in terms of collaboration, again, I don't want to pick on Regan every time, but you know, when you talk about how do you get, and in fact, Phil Neville was talking about how do you replicate that personal kind of experience of meeting with people, and Regan said buzzing off others. You know, actually, technology can help you do that as well as it can possibly be done. And I think that's kind of one of the key things that we do at Microsoft, is make sure that we're constantly developing the software, and you absolutely get made aware of all of those key elements. In terms of the computer science degree, I know that the university has worked with Microsoft colleagues of mine to make sure that the content is the latest, and that the access to some of the free additional sort of student-led capabilities are known about and are actually sort of put out to the students as well. So again, for Lookman and others who are interested in a bit of extra development, whether it's in AI, you know, whatever particular component part of computer science, it's out there, and Microsoft is consistently building that and refreshing and making sure that that's kind of current, really. So I think that the whole thing is all about exiting after 2 years or 3 years with the degree that you're interested in, and being in the best possible place to actually secure that job that you're after.
Absolutely. Thanks, Justin. Phil, if I can come over to you now. You joined us as one of our journalism tutors with a very successful career in journalism. How does your industry experience influence what you teach UA92 students?
Yeah, it's a massive thing for me, and that's what attracted me to UA92 in the first place, was the ability to get students out there into the workforce, have this connection with companies, real life practice, really. And obviously, I've done a couple of modules recently with journalism students where we do the academic side of things as well. Of course we do. You know, this week we've been doing the history of journalism and things like the Fourth Estate, and we also do things on ethics and law, journalistic law, that is, things like concept of exclusivity and all that kind of thing. So they get all that grounding as well, but then it's putting it into some kind of practice, which is key. And so I'm able to bring my own personal experiences to the table, really, and what I've experienced, because I started out just down the road from UA92. I'm a Salford lad. I started out at a press agency in Salford that worked for the Manchester Evening News, and so I was doing court reporting and all that kind of thing initially, and then got into sport, working with the Evening News. Then I worked for Piccadilly Radio through the agency as well, and that developed my broadcasting skills. Ended up working for the BBC in London behind the scenes, worked in America for CNN presenting, came back, reported for the BBC. So I've got all the areas covered, really, that I can pass on that knowledge to the students. If they want to talk about broadcasting, if they're interested into going into that, then I can help them with that. If they like the idea of, the written word and going into online journalism or newspaper journalism, then I can help them with that. And I can tell them the pitfalls that I've experienced through the years as well. Often, Phil Neville alluded to it earlier on, it's sometimes, you learn more from your mistakes that you make. And if I can point those out to the students and say, listen, this happened to me, this was embarrassing, try not to do that, get the basics nailed and you'll be fine. And that's what I try and do. And I try and bring those stories to life for them in the classroom, yeah.
And absolutely invaluable to have somebody in the classroom who has walked the walk, as well as somebody that can talk the talk. So I think, real asset to our students. Thank you, Phil. So Bobby, if I can come over to you, you're in your second year at UA92, and we're all really proud that you've recently got a new job as a news correspondent for your local newspaper, the Holderness News. How do you think your time studying at UA92 so far has prepared you to find such a brilliant opportunity?
I think the main thing was actually having the confidence to apply in the first place, because when I saw the role advertised, the first person actually told about it was Phil, because I found it during our last module, so the first one of second year, which was news journalism. And funnily enough, a lot of the things we learned kind of were parallel with the kind of things I do now. But it was also kind of engaging with industry partners in the summer as well. So Kevin Palmer, who was a guest speaker in first year, over the summer, when you won't really expect to have a lot of engagement with the university, he helped us to get bylines on, a professional sites, news sites on the internet. And that really helps you kind of gain confidence, think that, you have got that quality of writing in this case, but also I'm trying to bring new ideas to the paper. So I've actually had the confidence to suggest things for the social media because of things that we learned last year about content creation and video. So they published a short news piece that I did to the their Twitter page and Facebook pages. So it's just kind of getting my ideas out there and having the confidence to suggest these changes, rather than firstly kind of get the job, but also try and improve the kind of the workplace.
Brilliant. And massive well done again, Bobby. I hope you're enjoying it. I'm sure you're very busy. So Sam, if I can come back to you, I'm interested in at TalkTalk, what attributes and behaviours you look for when you're recruiting graduates, and how you think at UA92 we can help foster those characteristics.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think now more than ever, graduates are entering a really competitive market when looking for roles and jobs within the industry. So having a degree is amazing now, the wealth of knowledge that brings, but it's not necessarily enough on its own. And that's why the way that UA92 put such a good focus on the continuous professional development and the extracurricular skills that they encourage students to learn and to put into practice is so valuable to businesses. At TalkTalk, we really do we do look for those behaviours in people. So anything around, entrepreneurial spirit, resilience, great communicational skills, get up and go, initiative drive, all of those things are really crucial for us. And it's one of our values as a company is you can be yourself here. And we really do encourage that in terms of people bringing their full self. And not necessarily acting in a way that maybe they think corporate businesses would want them to. And we really want people to be authentic. So, the way that students at UA92 in particular can engage with us before they graduate, and we can tap into the great talent that's coming through is just so important for us. And, hopefully when the first cohort of students come to graduate, we'll have first dibs on some of them coming through, because, we can see how much support and focus that they get on that, and it's like I said, it's invaluable. So yeah, really important.
That's brilliant. Thanks, Sam. And yeah, you've got to know a lot of our students very well already, so I'm sure you'll be in their hit list of graduate employers. Justin, if I can finish with you then on the same question, if that's okay, the kind of characteristics that Microsoft would look for in graduates, and how you think we can help our graduates get those characteristics.
Yeah, and I was recently part of a panel talking to a number of people looking for internships and graduate positions. And actually, it was interesting when the interviewing panel all sort of circled back and said, why did you feel strongly towards this person, or what qualities and characteristics did you see? And I think that's different to the last time I joined one of these events. But I find myself being very drawn to people. I mean, again, I'm going to use some of your buzzwords, but not because they're yours, but because I think they're very relevant. And so the kind of resilience, so not under pressure, but under questioning. Can somebody give an example of when they've really done or dealt with a particular challenge in their life in the way that, Phil probably had to address? I think massively looking for people who've got some sort of character, and character means different things to different people. It doesn't mean being the liveliest, being the one to make everybody laugh. It means, something completely different, having something about yourself. I think a sense of awareness of yourself. And again, to Sam's point, be your true self, be your real self. I think people do their best work when they're happy and when they're comfortable. And I think that comes out, and that has to come from you. That can't be taught, but I think it can be teased out. And again, I look at a lot of what you do within your programs, and it allows people to explore that, because again, young adults don't always know exactly what they are, or maybe they've not finished developing fully in terms of what they're all about either. So there's still a bit of a bit of exploring being done there, really. But the other thing is, we didn't pick the people with the highest academic credentials. That's something I really want to call out. We picked the people that we thought would bring the greatest value, bring different views, different insights, who could accommodate others' views, who could encourage, some of the older in career people to maybe see things differently. So it was a really rounded kind of set of things that we were looking for. You have to have a minimum level of ability in the role, of course, but really, for me, it's that character that really shone through.
Thank you, Justin. That's a really interesting answer. Thank you so much. And a massive thank you to all our panel members, actually, for joining us today. I really enjoyed talking to you, as always. So we're going to take a short break now again, and after the break, you'll be able to hear from Josh, who will be talking about applying to UA92 and student finance. And during that break, you'll be able to watch a video of student accommodation, which you heard some of our students talk about earlier. So feel free to take a break, stretch your legs, get a drink, and we'll see you back again in about 5 minutes. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Oh.